I wanna be an American. Play with guns and shoot up everyone. Hey, welcome to the Poetry Balls podcast with what's my name again? Tola. Welcome to the Poetry Balls podcast with Tola Makanjola. Apologies for the late delivery of the podcast. It's been a busy one, but I thought I'd churn this out anyway, even though it's slightly late. Will you forgive me, please? Um, you know, first of all, I hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. I don't know what you guys get up to. I'm curious. I put out an email probably months ago saying, hey, write into the podcast. And no one has written into the podcast. So I feel kind of alone, dejected, rejected. But, as I say, good things take time. So I'll live in hope that I'll get some email. It'll probably be an insult. Knowing the way these things go is like, oh, I've listened to your podcast, can't stand you, can't stand your voice, can't stand the concept. It's like, at least you wrote in, you gotta take the good with the bad. At least you wrote in. Speaking of insults, anytime anyone who speaks a different language is around me, I always feel that I'm being insulted. I mean, why wouldn't you? I always feel like if I could speak, I understand Yoruba, and I can speak it a little bit, but not well enough, which is not good enough. I'm learning Italian, but again, I'm not fluent. But I know enough to know when I'm being insulted. I haven't been insulted yet, I don't believe, unless I'm in denial. However, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point is, if I could speak another language fluently and you were sat next to me, I would probably curse you out without you knowing. And I'll say it in a sweet way as well, in a deceptive, kind of, unassuming way. I'm like, oh, van va culo. Van va culo, sì. Grazie, van va culo. And you'll be none the wiser unless you speak Italian, in which case I'm completely screwed. But yeah, I do feel that when someone is around me and they speak another language, that there's a possibility. It's not 100%. It's not zero. But I think somewhere in there's a possibility that they could just be like, gosh, I'm sitting next to this guy who's weird. I can't stand him. I don't even know his name, but I can't stand him. So yeah. It is a good opportunity to just... It is a good reason to learn a language, so you can say what you truly want to say. I imagine you could... That's a good motivator. I mean, why else would you learn a language? To bond with people from other cultures? No. Why would you want to do that? That's silly. You want to be able to understand when you're being insulted, and simultaneously you want to be able to insult as well. That's the whole purpose of learning languages. That's the only motivating factor that I can think of. So I guess I'm a limited individual. I don't know where that came from, but I was just thinking about it. It's like, and I can't remember when it came to me, but it did come to me at some point that I'm probably being insulted at right now at this very minute. So, have you ever seen those cooking shows? The There are cooking shows where you have a bunch of people, they're cooking for a prize. They're like 10 of them. It's like MasterChef, or I don't know what they're called. I don't tend to indulge myself in nonsense, except this podcast. But yeah, you have the cooking show with 10 contestants, and you have 2 judges. And I remember maybe 10 years ago watching. I probably just stumbled upon it, and I stopped to see if they were fat. I stopped to see whether or not they were obese, because I imagine these guys have done the shows for many years, leading up to that point. And there are like 10 contestants, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And there's like round 1, round 2, round 3, week in, week out. And each dish they make, they've got to taste it. Taste. So you've tasted. So round 1, you've tasted like 10 dishes. Round 2, another 10. That's not healthy. That can't be healthy. I don't feel that's an appropriate way to live your life. That's not it's good for the first week. Like, oh, I'm trying all these different dishes. And even then, I mean, imagine you had 10 contestants and only one of them could cook. So you're getting fat while you're eating bad food. That's not good. That's not good at all. So yeah, I tuned in 10 years ago, probably, to see if they were fat. They looked young. They were youngish. By the way, I saw this exact same show on Saturday. Same hosts or judges, 2 guys. And they were definitely fatter. I was like, yeah, this definitely caught up with them. without a shadow of a doubt. A lot of this eating. One of them in particular, like, he definitely has that double chin going. It's not good. It's not good. Like I said, I mean, if you were eating from world-class chefs, at least that's one burden off. Like, oh, at least the food is good. But it's not always good, is it? And it's a lot of it. Week in, week out. That's just unhealthy. I suppose another benefit is that you don't have to cook at all. You go home, you're like, oh, sorry, already eaten. You've eaten for enough to last me for like a week. Yeah. Fascinating if you think so. I don't. I'm just spewing crap. Speaking of massive piles of crap, I hate it when you go on YouTube and there's always some expert, some old guy being interviewed who always tries to explain what people don't understand about Vladimir Putin. I mean, it's like, what's not to understand? Is he a murderer? Yes. Is he a dictator? Yes. Did he invade Ukraine on false premises? Yes. Is he a liar? Yes. I'm struggling to understand what I don't understand. I mean, some call it an intellectual. Like, okay, sure, okay. I mean, we'll go with that. Not really, but come on, give me a break. Stop trying to tell us what we don't understand. There's nothing to understand. The guy's a thug. He's a liar. He's a piece of shit. It's class day. I mean, it's like trying to say, here's what you don't understand about diabetes. It's like, is diabetes bad? Yes. Should you catch it? No. What else? Could it kill you? Yes. It's like, what more do you need to know? Stop telling me what I don't understand about things that are fairly basic. Vladimir Putin is a basic guy. Very simplistic as far as I can see. Yeah, he's a KGB agent, former KGB agent. So what? So what? He's a miserable. You can tell he's miserable. He's alone, sitting up in the Kremlin, twiddling his thumbs. Oh, who should I murder next? To, gain some attention. I don't know. There's nothing to understand. It's all self-explanatory. It's very self-evident. It's all so. Did my mic just cut out? I think my mic just cut out. I think the Russians are listening. The Russians are listening. Better hide. Don't get poisoned. I don't know. He murdered. What's his name again? Let's see. Let's Google it. I don't get the name wrong. I have it at the tip of my tongue, but Alexei. Yeah, that's it. Alexei Navalny. Yeah, that was inevitable, and I imagine like the Alexei Navalny must have known that. Quite tragic, but because you don't know where. It's tough to see where this is all going to end. It's not going to end well, not for Putin anyway. I don't imagine he's going to die peacefully. That's one consolation. You don't get to do all of this and die quietly in your bed. So I'll be curious to know how this ends. As for Alexei Navalny, well, it's one of those rare guys, that is willing to die for a cause. I don't know why. I can't identify with it necessarily. I think it's brave. I think it's that element of sacrifice that that's quite eternal. You go, wow, you're willing to put your life into the line for others. Okay, fair enough, man. Most people can't do it. 99% of people can't do that. It's a very rare person that would die for a cause. So, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to at least seek out that thing that you're passionate about. It's like seek out your passion, seek out the thing that you're willing to dedicate your life to, your efforts to. Something good, something beyond yourself. At the very least, like if you're good at finance, if you're good with money, then be the best financier in the world, or at least try to work with integrity. I don't know if that's possible, but the point is, there's a lot that we can do to improve on what we are as individuals. I'm not willing to die for anyone or anything. Does that make me a crappy person? Perhaps, maybe. I'm just being honest. Like, die? For what exactly? It's like, nah, I'm good, man. But it is very humbling. And a testament to the human character and spirit when you actually encounter or you're made aware of people who are like, nah, like this is my calling, this is my duty. If I don't do it, who else would do it? That sort of thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Very humbling, very inspiring. In all seriousness, yeah. Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Afterlife, all that. Yeah, I believe there's a heaven and a hell. As far as I can conceptualize all of that stuff. But, you do what you can on this earth and leave the rest, to be honest. I can't really dwell too much on what I can't control. So, rest in peace, Alexei Navalny. On that note, what is it? Today's Monday. So, busy week ahead. I imagine everyone else is busy as well. Hopefully. It's good to be busy. It's good to have things keep you occupied, keep you focused. It's better than the alternative. Sitting down in your pajamas. Sitting in your pajamas, eating biscuits on a Monday. Oh, that's a terrible thing. You gotta do something. even I mean, here's the thing, right? If you took a photo of yourself eating biscuits in your pajamas midweek at, let's say, 2 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, unless you're on holiday, that's problematic. My mic keeps. I think the Russians really are listening to me because the mic keeps cutting out. So, on that note, yeah, my mic does keep cutting out. Putin, you don't scare me. Let's just put that on record. Okay, you do kind of bit. Can you imagine if you had to meet Vladimir Putin? It's not about fear. I don't think it's fair. I think it's more, well, this guy's a murderer, so he's likely to kill me. It's likely that if he wanted to, he could. You know what? it's not because he's a scary guy. It's just that this guy doesn't fear God. He doesn't respect life. So it's like, well, if you love your life, then there'll be a bit of trepidation meeting someone like Putin who could snap his fingers. Is that how it works? Are you supposed to be afraid of that? I don't know. You can't give him that sort of power. If it was like a quick death, then I wouldn't be. It's like, okay, screw you, Putin. But if it's like slow torture, that's just pain. It's I don't know. Why am I talking about this stuff? It's so depressing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you guys. I've yammered, hammered for long enough. Oh yeah, so here's something to talk about. Let me just bring it up quickly. Where is it? No, I can't find it. But what I could say, what I could mention at this point is that I love doing the podcast. It's very cathartic. And it'd be nice to do on stage. I mean, it's a bit stand-up-y. It'd be nice to do on stage. The irony of my desire to do stand-up is that I'm not the best person when it comes to stage confidence. Although when I've done stuff on stage in the past, it's been okay. I felt relatively comfortable. But presenting has never been my strong suit. So it would be nice to have something to work on in that respect. Then to go, oh, I'm gonna do some stand up. I'm gonna make a presentation, build up that stage presence, that skill, that quality. I think there's a quality to be able to kind of communicate your ideas in front of a bunch of people. Not necessarily in a demagogy sort of way, like the not in the political way. You're not necessarily trying to convince anyone of anything except of your capability to be funny or to engage, to communicate ideas properly. Beyond that, it's manipulation. It is. It is. Especially in the political realm, which is highly cynical, but you know, that's just kind of how I see it. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. Again, apologies for the late delivery, for the delayed delivery of the podcast. Um, have a good week ahead, and I intend on recording on Sunday. So, just to, I intend on recording on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So, yeah, look out for the podcast. Okay, have a good one. Peace and love.